Over the years of using my Fujifilm X-E4, I have acquired a selection of accessories that pretty much never leave my camera. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. These are the 5 accessories that are basically glued to my X-E4.
Oh my god, he said the title to the video!
The first accessory is actually something that's not solely for my X-E4. I have these on every single one of my cameras, and that is the Peak Design anchor links. These are basically just little strap, quick release attachments that you can slot on, slot off, and they just kind of live hanging on your camera. These things are fantastic because I cannot stand having to tie on and off a camera strap to my camera. I just won't have a camera strap at that point because it bothers me so much. So these are great because then I actually will use a camera strap for times that I need one. There's a lot of people that complain about how expensive these anchor links are, and I don't think they're that expensive because you can get a camera, like a nice strap with the links for like 40 bucks, which is really not that bad when you're thinking about this is supposed to hold your couple $1,000 camera. So I don't really have too much of a problem with it, but there are some cheaper budget alternatives that I've seen on Amazon, as well as some people just have tiny little like carabiners that they have basically made their own Peak Design links with, and I'm sure that's way cheaper. The next item that never leaves my camera is a shutter button. Most Fujifilm cameras have a little screw in the top of the shutter, basically so you can attach these shutter buttons. So they're kind of just asking for it at this point. But I've got this little red one, I think it's actually metal, that I got on Amazon. They're super cheap, but it makes hitting the shutter a lot easier. I mean, it probably doesn't really do anything, but I like the feel of it, and it raises it up a little bit, so it just feels a little nicer to actually push. Also, it looks great on the camera, and they have a ton of different ones you can get. My wife has a gold one on her X-E4. I've got the red one, like I mentioned. There's like wood ones you can get. Probably get custom ones with different patterns on it. There's a lot of really cool ones that you can put on your camera. The next accessory that I put on my X-E4 is a hot shoe cover. A lot of people will use a thumb grip that slides into the hot shoe of the X-E4 because they say that it is hard to hold, or they'll have a grip attached to the bottom. I don't understand that. I haven't found the X-E4 hard to hold at all, ever. So I don't use any of those, but I also don't really like the look of just the exposed hot shoe on the top, and I'm sure if water got in there, that probably wouldn't be a very good thing. So I just found a cool little hot shoe cover that matches the black on the top of the X-E4, and it just slots right in there. Looks great. Also, it's surprisingly made of metal, which is kind of cool. It like goes with the whole look of the X-E4. Next up is something that will actually change how your images look, which is a Tiffen Glimmerglass 1 filter. You can use any diffusion filter that you want. I just personally enjoy how the Tiffen Glimmerglass filter looks, but they are kind of expensive. I think this one was $70 or so not crazy cheap, but there's some on Amazon that I've seen for like $10 and they still work great. I have a couple of those in my cabinet and they also work fantastic. I like the Glimmerglass a little bit more, and if you have it, use it. And what the Glimmerglass filter, or any diffusion filter for that matter, does to your images is it will soften it a little bit and also bloom the highlights. And you can get different strengths of these, so it will affect the image to your liking more or less. Think like if you go like Black Pro Mist, like a quarter doesn't do that much, and then if you get like a Black Pro Mist 1, it's like a crazy huge amount. But all in all, the diffusion filter's so much fun to play with, and I never take them off my camera. The final accessory is a rather new one to me, but I'm so happy that it's finally here. They listened to me, but probably wasn't me, but it's a square hood for my Voigtlander 27mm f2 from the company Square Hood. Having a lens hood will help block out unwanted flares or reflections, but for the most part, especially from the ones from Square Hood, they look so nice. Having this hood on the front of the 27mm just really completes the look that I was going for with my X-E4. These hoods are a little bit more on the expensive side, and I think I paid like $70 for this lens hood, but I think it's worth it, especially if you're just gonna put it on one lens and it just lives on your camera. I think it's totally worth it. Depending on what lens you use, there might be some cheaper alternatives on Amazon. Like I found one for my Voigtlander 40mm, and I think that one looks fantastic. I've seen some for the Fujifilm 27mm on Amazon. So you just kind of have to look for whichever lens you're currently using. But highly suggest checking out Square Hood because they are gonna be the best around, period. I will have links to all of these in the description. The Amazon links will be affiliated, so just a heads up, won't cost you anything extra, but just wanted to let you know. While none of these accessories will make you take better photos, they might make it more enjoyable to use your camera, and therefore you will use it more, and therefore you will take better photos. Just simply doing things more makes you better at things. And if you have a bundle of accessories attached to a camera that make you want to pick it up more, you're gonna use it more. So while they are not necessary items to purchase, personally, I think they are a worthwhile investment to your craft. What accessories do you love to use on your Fuji cameras? I would love to hear about it, so please let me know down in the comments. And that is gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help this channel out. And I'll see you in the next one.